this episode, we become a little unhinged. Well, at least we changed some hinges anyways. Alright, so next up is we're going to replace these hinges on this tailgate here. But before we do that, I've been kind of using the back of the Jeep here as for storage. So we're going to clean that out and kind of take an inventory of what we've got. And then we'll replace these hinges, make sure that they're fitting okay, see if any adjustments need to be made before we do the body work on the tailgate. And yeah, then we'll continue on. Okay, so I've got everything cleaned out of there. Now I'm just going to remove these. They are, the proper bolt is a Torx bit. I believe it is a T40. I've already loosened these off and they can be a bit of a challenge. You can see that in episode 3 of the Jeep rebuild. I think it's called Backend Disassembly or something. You can see I had a problem with these two, which I ended up welding nuts to, cutting the heads off and then drilling them out and welding nuts to get them out. The rest came out loose, but I shouldn't have a problem now because they've all been loosened. So I'm going to remove these 4 and then I will, I think that's what I'll do. Yeah. And then I'll remove the tailgate, set it off, and then I'll remove the hinges. So. Okay, so annoyingly enough, I still got one that seems to still be a little bit seized in there. So pretty sure I loosened all these prior, but maybe I'll have to check out episode 3 to review. Anyways, I'm gonna hit it with a bit of heat, and I do have access to the back of it here, so hopefully that should be all it takes. So. Okay, success. So I got those out, a little bit of heat did the trick and it snapped loose pretty easily. So now what I'm going to do is fit these new hinges and we'll put the door back on and hopefully it closes. I didn't really go over it just now, but I did in the other episode. Basically because the pins in the hinges get loose, you have to lift the door up to close it, which gets a little bit annoying. I'm just looking now, there's a chance this door pin here might be bent, so anyways, we'll give it a try. The hinges I've got are from Rugged Ridge. Looks like the part number is 11218.01, and they're black but I'm going to paint them white like the stock ones anyways. So yeah, let's get these on and see how they fit. All right, so that's installed. As you can see now, opens and closes good. Previously, like I said, to close it, you'd kind of have to lift it here. And hopefully, let's see if I open this right up. You can see it was damaging the, scraping all the paint off here because it was rubbing both here on the body and on the door as well, which then starts to rust, which is no good. We're trying to avoid that. So yeah, that's done. I'm going to take it off again to prep it and then paint it. But just to compare these hinges, as you can see, these ones are countersunk, and they were using that Torx bit bolt, which is also sits flush with the hinge. These ones are like a more of an Allen bolt, 3/16 Allen bolt button head. So they stick out a bit. I'm not sure. This probably is a little bit nicer looking, but we're gonna have the spare tire on here and stuff, so you're not really gonna see them. You can see here with the old one, it's just worn. Nobody seems to, but I think you could probably just replace this pin, but they don't seem to sell a replacement pin or a shim for it or a bushing or anything. So I might hang on to these and just for my own interest, see if I can repair it properly. Maybe get a bushing or something machine for that, but I'm not really sure if it's worth it. But the only other thing is I might look for some Torx bolts, whether they're button head like that, or I could always countersunk them a bit like the way that this is done as well, but we'll see. Only reason I get the Torx is just to keep everything the same, because most of the fasteners on here are Torx bits. So, but yeah, that's a big improvement. So I think we will move on to the next thing. Next up, I'm going to remove this latching system from the door, as well as the door handle and the key lock. So I'll get those removed, and then we can start prepping the rest of this tailgate for paint. Been cleaning up this latch assembly for the back door tail hatch, or tailgate, I guess, and I found this kind of interesting. I work on a lot of parts. Very rarely do I see this here. Look at that. It says made in Canada. That was kind of cool. Anyways, let's keep going. Next up, we're going to work on this cowl area. You can see it's kind of all got some chipping paint along the edge here. I'm going to remove this vent cap and probably the sprayer nozzles, windshield washer sprayer nozzles. But yeah, we'll kind of get this get started on this. Okay, so when I pulled this off, the vent there, it seemed to have been someone's used silicone to kind of seal it on there, so it took a little bit more to kind of clean that area up. These sprayer nozzles, I can't seem to figure out how to get those safely off the hoses and be able to get the hoses back on. So I think what I'm going to do, because this isn't like a show car or anything, I'm going to leave these on, probably just prop them up a bit when I do the paint, and mask them off, of course, and see if I can get some paint underneath. But I'm not going to worry about taking them completely off, because like I said, I'm not 100% sure how to be able to get them off safely without breaking them, and it's not a big deal. So same with these hinges. I've gotten all the bolts off for the windshield frame, because we're going to be replacing the windshield frame, but these lower ones are in there pretty good, and I'm not going to worry about them. I'm just going to paint them on here because I don't want to risk snapping these off. But overall here, we've got this all kind of scuffed up and ready for paint. I was able to try to blend in a lot of this area where the paint was peeling before, so hopefully we can prevent that from happening. I am going to remove this windshield before we paint, so we'll get rid of this gasket and be able to fold these hinges down, be able to get all in here. But I think that is looking pretty good. So okay, that's going to do it for this episode. Making lots of progress. We finished off the tailgate and hopefully the cowl up there, so getting very close to spraying primer, and that's going to be a big step. So really the only thing I think we need to do, we've got to remove the hardtop still, just to kind of go over this top rail here where it sits, but I'm not too worried about that. There's not going to be a lot of body work or anything. It's basically just scuffing up, getting it ready for the primer. Other than that, I think we are very, very close. So as always, if you've enjoyed this episode, please like and subscribe, and we'll see you next time on Analog Generation.